The first big step in using aircraft for crop protection occurred in the U.S. in 1921 when John McCready applied insecticide dust by air on trees infected with the catalpa sphinx moth. This was the first use of aircraft in North America to directly apply a pesticide, and was so successful that it spawned the crop dusting industry, so named because the first products delivered were in a dust-like formulation. The first dusting in Canada was carried out in 1927 in a Keystone Puffer seaplane on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. The Great Depression and Dust Bowl of the 1930s put agricultural aviation on hold, as did the outbreak of World War II. However, the post-war years saw a boom in agricultural aviation due to the ready supply of cheap war surplus aircraft and a booming economy where crop protection was becoming an important operation. Across the country, there were crops of all types that required protection, especially in times of massive outbreaks of disease or insects, where aircraft could cover large areas in minimum time to halt the devastation. Throughout the 50s, there were a rapidly increasing number of acres that needed to be treated, and new aircraft were appearing that were specifically designed for the job. The new aircraft were larger, faster, and much more rugged than those before. And the same story was seen in the forestry industry, where large tracts of timber were being decimated by spruce budworm. In the early 50s, large-scale operations began to combat this deadly plague, and by 1979, the fleet was able to treat over 6 million hectares in 1 month. This trend spread quickly with large-scale aerial forestry operations across the country by the 70s and 80s. The post-war years also saw the introduction of the helicopter in aerial spraying, especially where field sizes were comparatively small or maneuvering room was tight. As the 20th century came to a close, new technologies would lead to even more effective ways to use aircraft in the agricultural and forestry industries.